I've spent most of my life dealing with being forgetful. And I think most of it comes down to ADD. But I'll forget some basic shit, you know? And for a long, long time, in fact, even still, I will get yelled at for forgetting things, especially by my parents. Or, well, my father anyway. My mom kind of quit about 10 years ago. But, I'd forget to do homework or whatever. And things will slip my mind until, like, the evening or some shit. And so now, I'm riding around, like, I start the bike up. I'm riding along and I start smelling stuff. And there's, like, smoke coming up, right? And I'm paranoid as shit because I just changed the oil yesterday. And what happens on this bike especially, I don't know about others, but the oil filter is in between, like you have to pull it in between two of the exhaust tubes on the front of the motor. And one of the, there's two collectors on the bike. One of them, it basically, the exhaust system goes four into two into one. And one of the collectors is directly underneath the oil filter. Which means when you pull the oil filter out, you will drip oil on the exhaust pipes. It's going to happen. Now, if you really care about it, people will wipe it all off and sit there and like polish shit and all that crap. I don't really care that much. I'll wipe off the obvious and leave the film, right? I don't care about the film. And that's what is smoking. And it just, like, I'm literally sitting there getting ready to pull out and I see smoke come up. I'm like, oh shit, what did I forget to do? I thought that maybe I had not screwed the oil filter on tight enough or something. And then I'm always paranoid for like the first 500 miles that I didn't get the drain plug in tight enough. And it's gotten to the point where a couple of times I have actually stopped and like gotten under the thing and looked. And on this thing, it's kind of a pain in the ass because the drain plug is covered in fairings. But like I'll stop and look and go, oh God, is it still there? And it always is. I've never had it back out. Although I will say, I had an oil leak in the truck some time ago. And around Christmas, it was like, I'd gone to my parents' house, and I noticed that there was a slight trail in my parking spot at home when I backed out. It was like a little snail trail of goo. I was like, fantastic, I've got oil coming out of something again. And so I checked it at a gas station. It was fine. I drive all the way to Houston. It's a 12-hour drive. I get down there. I check it again. It's low, but it's not like, oh shit, I'm gonna die low. So I fill it back up. It sits there for about 2 weeks, and I drove it 2 or 3 times. And then I leave, and I left at like stupid o'clock in the morning because it's like a 14-hour drive coming back because of the time zone. And my dad called me, like both my parents called me, and they were like, there's an oil slick underneath where your truck was sitting. I was like, oh, fantastic. I said, yeah, I guess it's got a leak. I'm keeping an eye on it and all that. Anyway, I hear this weird buzzing sound, right? And I'm stopping and like topping off the oil and all this shit. And every now and then I'm hearing this buzzing sound, and I get home, and I was like, all right, let's see what's going on. I get under the truck, the fucking oil filter's like half unscrewed. It's like, holy crap, if that, and the buzzing was the filter backing its, like vibrating itself off. If I hadn't checked that, the oil filter comes off your car while you're driving down the highway. Your car is going to spray all the oil out of the tank really quickly. It's not going to happen instantly, but it's going to happen, within about a minute. You're not going to have any oil in that bitch. and your oil pressure lights are going to go fucking bonkers, and then you're going to melt the motor if you don't shut it the hell down. So I got lucky there, and that wasn't my fault. It wasn't anybody's fault. That is shit happens. I changed the oil like 3 months earlier, and I guess it just wasn't quite tight enough. I don't really know, because, you know, it lasted for like 3 months and then it kind of came loose. So I always get a little paranoid about that stuff, and riding around on a motorcycle that's got smoke coming out of it that smells acrid as hell because it's oil smoke is kind of unnerving. But all seems to be good. The water temperature's not up all that high anyway. If that starts going crazy, then I'll know. But by then it'll probably be a little bit too late. I don't think this thing has a oil light on it. Actually, I think it does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah. We'll find out, maybe. Hope not.